Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna. Shloka number 43 and 44. Since 43 don't have purport, I'll read it myself. 44 we can togetherly chant. Ekasminnapi yatebde pranesham chantaratmanah Krishnamaya hatarajan Krishnardham me baka. Translation. O king, although the boys had passed an entire year apart from the Lord of their very lives, they had been covered by Lord Krishna's illusory potency, and thus considered that year merely half a moment. So 44th shloka, please repeat. Kim kim na vismaranti iha maya mohita chetasa yat mohitam jagat sarvam abhikshanam vismrita atmakam. Kim kim na vismarantiha maya mohita chetasa yanmohitam jagat sarvam abhikshanam vismritatmakam. Kim kim na vismarantiha maya mohita chetasah yanmohitam jagat sarvam abhikshanam vismritatmakam. Kim kim na vismarantiha maya mohita chetasah jagat sarvam maya mohita chetasa yanmohitam jagat sarvam abhikshanam vishmritatmakam. Kim kim na vismarantiha maya mohita chetasa mohitam jagat sarvam abhikshanam vishmritatmakam. Kim kim, what indeed? Na vismaranti, persons do not forget. Iha, in this world. Maya mohita, bewildered by illusion. Chetasaha, whose minds. Yat, by which. Mohitam, bewildered. Jagat, the world. Sarvam, entire. Abhikshanam, constantly. Vismrita atmakam, making one forget even one's own self. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. What indeed is not forgotten by those whose minds are bewildered by the Lord's illusory potency. By that power of Maya, this entire universe remains in perpetual bewilderment, and in this atmosphere of forgetfulness, no one can understand his own identity. Purport. It is clearly stated here that the entire universe is bewildered. Thus, even great demigods like Indra and Brahma are not exempt from this principle of forgetfulness. Since Lord Krishna exercised his internal illusory potency over his coward boyfriends and calves, it is not at all astonishing that for 1 year they could not remember that their position. Indeed, by the Lord's external illusory potency, the conditioned souls forget their existence not only for 1 year but for many millions and billions of years as they transmigrate throughout the kingdom of ignorance called the material world. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are seeing this situation is that although boys, the coward boys, they have been kept under some spell of Brahma. Actually, it was not spell of Brahma. It's Krishna's illusory potency that they thought the 1 year period was just like a one moment. Because Brahma took them for one moment, and if you compare the timings of Brahma with the earthly planets, it was just. Brahma took them for one moment, but already 1 year has passed. So when they returned, they didn't think that 1 year has passed. They thought it's for a moment. So by Krishna's internal potency, 44th shloka we are saying, that because of Krishna's internal potency, that coward boys and boyfriends and calves, they all thought it was just one moment. They didn't think that it was 1 year. They were, by Krishna's internal potency, they didn't feel that it was a long time, long period. It was just for a moment. So they felt like that. So indeed we see here in purport it is explained that entire universe is bewildered by Krishna's illusory potency. See, we know that as the living entities, as jivas, we are always under control of Krishna's energy. Either we are to be controlled by his internal potency or external potency. But jiva cannot be acting independently. Either Krishna's external potency, this is material nature, Mahamaya, or Krishna's internal potency as Yogamaya. So either way we are controlled by Maya. But being controlled by Yogamaya, this is Krishna's direct internal potency. Devotees are controlled by internal potency. We see in Bhagavad Gita that one who is a Mahatma or one who is a devotee, one who is surrendered soul to Krishna, he is being controlled by Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. He takes shelter of Daivim Prakriti. This is Yogamaya. But if one rejects the controllership of Yogamaya or the internal potency of the Lord, immediately he comes under the control of Mahamaya, which is external potency of the Lord. So we see living entities in material world, we all are controlled by the external potency of the Lord. Because we have rejected the internal potency or controllership of Daivim Shakti. So we are immediately come under this material world. And what happens when we are under material illusion? So immediately we forget that we are servants of Krishna. So this is what happens. So this is called Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna. So Krishna consciousness means to always think about Krishna and to always understand Krishna's energies and always engage in Krishna service. But Maya means just opposite to that. Means illusion. Thinking about other things apart from Krishna. So this is called Maya, and we have the description in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Atmendriya Priti Vanchatare Balikam Krishnendriya Priti Cha Dare Premanam. So Maya means to work for one's own satisfaction, one's own satisfaction. So when one tries to enjoy his own senses, when one tries to enjoy this material world with his senses, or one who works for the satisfaction of his own senses, that is called lust. That is called kama. Atmendriya priti vanchatare balikam. So this is Maya. So what is Krishna? Krishnendriya priti vanchatare balikam. Premanam. So when one engages in the activities of to satisfy the senses of Krishna, this is called prema. So difference between material world and the spiritual world is this, that in spiritual world everybody is trying to satisfy Krishna. But in material world, whereas see, everybody is trying to satisfy their own senses. Everybody is trying to satisfy their material senses. They don't want to remember Krishna. They want to forget Krishna. So this state, the forgetfulness of Krishna, this is called Maya. But we see devotees or one who is under the Daivim Prakriti Mashrita, one who has taken shelter of internal potency of the Lord, they are called Mahatmas. Why? Because they are like Ananyas Chintayantomam. They are Chintaya, their consciousness, their thoughts, their deeds, their everything is about Krishna. So this is pure devotee. So by surrendering to Krishna, one can overcome this material potency or Maya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it is not easy. It's very tough. You see, Mama Maya Duratya. Krishna says it's Duratya. It means it's hard to overcome. Because it's Krishna's energy, Krishna's potency. So how do we overcome? By taking shelter of Krishna. When you take shelter of Krishna, then we are not in Maya. So material world, we are in this material world. It is told that those who are in material world, they are Nitya Baddhas, means conditioned souls. We all are conditioned souls. So when we are conditioned, it's very difficult to remember Krishna. It's difficult to think about Krishna or serve Krishna. So we are trying to satisfy our senses. So it's difficult to observe about thoughts of Krishna. Seems like it is something artificial. But our actual position or our actual stage is to serve Krishna. We were once upon a time completely under Krishna's energy, means we were serving him in spiritual world. But in material world, it's completely opposite. We forgot Krishna. So now it seems very difficult to think about Krishna. It's very difficult. But actually, it is said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kapuna Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Kare Uday. This is something natural for the living entity to serve Krishna. This is something natural. But since time immemorial, we are been serving this material nature, serving this material senses. For now, it's becoming difficult for us to do service to Krishna. The example is given. His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj in one of his lectures gives this example that, for example, if a person is injured, some hand fracture has happened, and for many months he is not using his hands properly, it is stuck somewhere like this. The doctor says you should not move your hand. Then he keeps the hand in same position for 3 months or 2 months or whatever period till it get recovered. So once it got recovered, then he will feel difficulty to use his hand again back in his normal state. He will feel the difficulty. So again he has to meet another doctor, physiotherapist, and he will give some special exercises, and so that he can use his hand normally. So he was using his hand normally previously, but because of some injury, he didn't use his hand properly. I mean, he was restricting himself not to use hand. So again, when he wants to use his hand back normally, he feels difficult. So this is how it is. Krishna consciousness is something natural for living entities, because we all are servant of Krishna. But in material world, we feel the struggle, or we don't like to serve Krishna, because since time immemorial, we are been conditioned by this material nature, trying to satisfy our own senses. So now when we want to do service to Krishna, when we want to surrender to Krishna, we feel the difficulty. So this is Maya. Maya is what which makes us to think about enjoying ourselves and forget Krishna. So in this material world, everybody is trying to serve their own senses. So this is what is happening. So in this material world, there are very few jivas who are trying to understand Krishna and serve Krishna. So this is like we are going against the current of material world. Srila Prabhupada gives this analogy. When we want to swim against the current, it is difficult. So in this material world, whole situation is like this, that everybody is trying to enjoy and forget Krishna. So and there are very few people who are trying to understand Krishna and serve Krishna and go back to their original position of serving Krishna. So that's why this material world is compared as madhouse, where people are thinking they are the enjoyers. So in madhouse, a normal person in madhouse, he will feel difficulty to stay there. So that's why devotees feel difficult. When we see material people, though, we are going out for book distribution, and when we speak with people, when we meet them, what is their consciousness? Every time when we speak with people, we are asking about, read Bhagavad Gita, come to temple, and we see openly they reject. They don't even consider what temple. Many people we see, directly they oppose. We give them Hare Krishna mantra card. Please take, sir. Please come to temple. What is their response? Immediately their response is, no, I am not interested. I am not coming to temple. I am not interested. So if you see 70% of the people, not 70%, everybody says literally this answer, I don't have time, I am not interested, I am not going to come. And they see us as mad people. They think, what is this people? Hare Krishna, they are chanting, and they don't go to movies, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't do any activities which we are doing, and they think we are mad people. Generally, they consider, what is Sir Bhagavad Gita? Who will read all these books nowadays? Better don't waste time. Why are you people doing all these things? No use. It's of no use. You are crazy people. So people, they criticize us. They think we are mad. But actually, this whole material world, this is a mad place where people, they are trying to enjoy themselves, but they are going to die. But illusion, bewilderment is that they think that they are going to be happy forever. This is what Maya makes them to think. Uh, it's very difficult for a normal person to stay in this madhouse. Similarly, for a devotee to stay in this material world is not so easy, because everybody is, like a mad person. One who is affected with haunted. That's why we say Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is said, one who is affected by Maya, it is compared as ghost haunted person. So literally, we see when we go out for book distribution, nobody gives proper response. We can see their consciousness. Nobody is normal. Generally we go to some shop or somewhere, we don't see sanity, any kind of normal behaviors. Everything, they behave very strange. They don't even want to look at the book. Completely they are focused in earning money and enjoying their senses. Their only focus is how to enjoy senses. So this is what we see whole world. So people think this is what is normal, but for a devotee this is not normal. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam, what is it? Yanisham Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrata Samyami Sanisha Pashyato Munehe. For a self-realized soul, what is day? It is night for the materialistic people. And what is day for materialistic people will be night. It's opposite. So this is completely opposite way. The devotees and the karmis are those who are in illusion, they think. So whatever, for a sadhaka, for a practitioner, one who is trying to do some sadhana and overcome this material energy or this bewilderment, it is difficult. It seems very difficult to overcome Maya. But the process is given. Mam eva ye prapandya. This is the process. When we surrender to Krishna, then immediately we can see, how Krishna helps us to overcome this bewilderment, overcome this illusion. Just like when you go out some house, we see there are furious dogs with big teeth. They are really looking so much fearful, and they are coming to attack us or something when we go out for book distribution. And as soon as master says, sit down, immediately dog is surrendered to the master. It won't do anything. Completely silence. Have anyone got experience? Immediately it becomes silent. So Maya is like, this material energy is so strong. It's very difficult for a conditioned jiva to overcome this illusory potency. Everybody is bewildered. This purport, it is said, even great demigods like Indra, Brahma, they are also bewildered by this material energy. We know Indra and Brahma, we know the stories from Bhagavatam, how great personalities, they are also bewildered by this material potency. But by surrendering to Krishna, as soon as one surrenders to Krishna, when Krishna gives the mercy, when Krishna gives the mercy, immediately one can feel that, one can understand that, this is illusion and this is Krishna. Immediately he can overcome this material nature. So this is the solution. We have to take shelter of Krishna. So how do we take shelter of Krishna? The process is by following the rules and regulations. When we don't have natural attraction for Krishna, which is something natural, then Shastras giving the rules. But by following the Vidhi Bhakti means waking up in the morning, chanting Krishna's holy name, studying Srila Prabhupada books, associating with devotees, taking Krishna Prasadam. So by following all these rules, one is protected. By following these rules, one gets shelter of Krishna. So if one neglects the rules of regulations of this Vaidhi Bhakti, immediately there is a danger. There is a problem. So for one sadhaka to overcome all these difficulties, these rules and regulations helps so that he can properly situate his consciousness. So we see in history there are many great stalwart people who are been trying to control their senses, and how they are devoured by Maya, by illusion, and all these stories from Bhagavatam and all this history by which we have to study and we have to understand how to overcome those things. Like for example, we see, Vishwamitra, Shaubari, even Brahma, Shiva. So all these examples, they are great personalities. But we see by their example, they are showing how the illusory potency is very powerful. And by studying those things, by understanding, how they surrender to Krishna, by studying those prayers offered by the great personalities, we can also overcome this material nature by taking shelter of Krishna. So, though it is duratyaya, it is difficult to overcome, but by surrendering to Krishna, by having determination to overcome this Maya, Prabhupada gives another example in Bhagavad Gita, in 6th chapter, if you remember, that sparrow trying to empty the ocean. Sparrow's egg fell inside this ocean, and the sparrow wants to take back the egg, and it is trying to empty the ocean by bringing few drops of water from ocean and trying it to empty back. But if you see, it is impractical. It is not possible. But it was determined to empty the ocean. It was still trying. And seeing the determination of the sparrow, Garuda, who is the king of all the birds, who is powerful, he saw the determination and he thought, okay, this sparrow is trying so much, so hard. Okay, let me, show mercy on this bird, sparrow. And he called the Varunadev, or the ocean, king of ocean, and asked, give back the egg. And immediately he came and brought the egg. So this is the way. For us, it seems very difficult because we see the great personalities like Brahma is even bewildered by Maya. Then compared with Brahma, who we are, very small, tiny living entities. We don't have so much energy or Shakti, so much intelligence. We don't have that power. But what is our hope? Only hope is to surrender to Krishna again and again, trying, pushing back, following the rules, chanting, associating, taking prasadam. So by doing all these things, keep on trying, by having determination to overcome this Maya, then Krishna gives us the intelligence. Krishna gives us the mercy. So by Krishna's mercy, then it is all possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. We cannot overcome by it on our own strength. What strength we have got to challenge Maya? It's not possible. So when we have the strong desire to serve Krishna, then Krishna helps us so that we can overcome this illusory potency. So this is the only solution. So here in the verse it is said how the coward boys, they were kept under this internal potency of Krishna. Then they forgot that it was 1 year. They thought it is just for a one moment. So, but by material world, we see everybody is bewildered by external potency of Krishna for millions and billions of years, but still they don't recognize that they are in this illusory potency. So there are very few rare souls who understand that they are in illusion, and there are very few souls that they are trying to overcome this material illusion. So it's very difficult. That's why Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kasyat yatati siddhaye. Among thousands, one will try to understand Krishna, one will try to overcome this Maya. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? Yes, it is told in this purport that it was 1 year period, but they felt it was like one moment. Yes, they felt it was just a one moment. 1 month they felt they were away from Krishna. One moment, it was just a momentary. That's what the shloka says. They felt one moment. It was just a moment, momentary. They went somewhere. Yes. Because Krishna went to see the other boys, where they went, what had happened. Krishna just went away for one moment. So during that period, Brahma put a spell on these people. So that was just moment, just one moment, and Krishna came back. It was just a moment. That's it. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.